Hi, friends, welcome back to the Guitar Spa, where we bring you all the beautiful guitars reviewed just for you. And I have one special guitar because I set it up. This guitar. This guitar has a story behind this, and this, yes, it looks like a Gibson J200, but it's not a Gibson J200. This is actually a Epiphone J200. Okay, let's just go through this guitar first, and then I'll tell you the back end story because this story is something that has an attachment to this person, and sometimes guitars that may not be of very high financial value or monetary value has a lot of sentimental value, and it's good that some of this products that we have or these items that we have is linked to certain part of our lives. And let's just get this review started. This is I've done a couple of Gibson's J200, and this right now sells for maybe Gibson sells for 4 5,000 US dollars, at least 4,000 US dollars. And a lot of times people can't afford, they buy the Epiphone series that is made outside USA. But in terms of looks, you get the same white exact look of the J200. You get thicker screw stop. You got actually a 1.5 inch X brace from the sound hole that is scallop. Back and sides are maple. You can see maple. And you got a one-piece maple neck, not a five-piece neck that is from with the Gibson, and then you get the Groover diecast tuners on this. The headstock is a little bit different, the Epiphone headstock, but the inlays are all the same. You get the inlays that are similar to the J200, and even the pickguard, the inlays looks the same. It's just that this one is not painted on, like hand painted and thicker as compared to the J200. And also the bridge looks fairly similar, not similar but fairly similar. um this one actually comes with the plastic bone and plastic saddle and nut. And this one I've upgraded the saddle to the FMI saddle to give a little bit of the clarity and also the deeper, warmer tone that you will listen right now. And also the pins were the plastic pins, which I've upgraded to the dyed bone pins, as you can see from here. Just have a look at it. And the back end story of this guitar is that this guy that sends this guitar has an uncle that was took care of him and his mother when for whatever reason his dad was no longer in the family. And and his uncle actually bought this from an overseas and hand carried it back, and thus you can see the two crack lines, surface crack lines that were due to the weather or surface cracking, they call it grazing or whatever. And before he died, due to before he died, um, to a certain disease, he gave this guitar to this owner, who's like a son to him. And he came back and said that it was just unplayable, but it has a sentimental value to this guitar and uncle. So he asked me if I could just firstly fit a new RRX anthem, which I did, and then reset this whole guitar. And initially, I didn't know whether this would sound really good because of maybe some of the previous Epiphones I've done. But when I took this guitar, maybe the wood has aged quite a fair bit. And the neck, even the neck angle is perfect to the body. In fact, better than some of the J200s. And I fitted the XT strings from the Adorado on the 1253 instead of mediums on this, and it sounds perfectly well. So just listen how it sounds. And if you're looking for, if you can't find, you don't have the budget to buy a J200 Gibson, then maybe this could be the other option, a cheaper alternative. You hear that. It has a depth, but not as deep as a normal J200, because that one is really full maple and solid maple. This one, I guess, is also maple, but it's a different metal maple, and the finish on this is a polyurethane. The Gibson's ones are the nitro finish, so it will thin down. Okay, I just do a bit of strumming just to let you. Very deep sounding, lots of bass even. Oh man, this is good. Imagine you may be asking, man, how does this sound compared to, let's say, a Taylor 314? I have a Taylor 314 and I'm just gonna play a little bit and you listen to whether this is almost similar or not. Okay, I just try not to hit this guitar here. Okay. different, right? Sounds a little bit different. You can hear that this Epiphone has, lots of bottom demand on this. I do enjoy it. It's a strumming guitar. You will hear that it's a bass, treble, and a little bit of that mid scoop that is like the hi-fi, the old kind of hi-fi that you. So some people may be asking me, is the maple back inside? And wouldn't have enough sustain? Actually, you will still have sustain. It's just that maple decays a little bit faster, and with the fossilized mammoth ivory, it's not so harsh. You can hear that it's really warm sounding. So if you have a maple sounding guitar and you find that it's very harsh, it's too bright, actually it's all depend on how it's set up and warden up the correct strings. Fit the correct strings in, fit the fossilized mammoth ivory, warm it down. The trebles will be sweeter. Maybe put even some bone pins on it. Maybe I use so on the third fret, let's listen how this sounds. Sustain. I set this guitar very, very straight, so you don't need a lot of right hand technique to get the volume or the when you get the guitar set up correctly, you don't need a lot of right hand technique to really drive the sound. And because when you set it up at a sweet spot, it's so responsive. It's just like how would I say, it's just like a really good knife. This is an instrument just like your knife. The Japanese knife is so good. You can, when you slice the meat on the beef or the chicken, it's effortless. Just like you're playing. You can it's effortless, right? So what is the advantage of maple? Maple, when you play especially in the band setting, you won't get a lot of feedback. It sits on top of the mix. It mixes very well. Still very good. Fingerstyle, how does it sound? Something about guitars that I've said the stories about this guitars that is linked to stories, right? I mean, there was one guy actually. There were two guitars. One guitar came in with two bolts here, and the guy said, and then when you take out the bolts, there were two holes, and the guy said, I wanted to restore. I mean, put a new, maybe find a way to restore, because this was something my father gave it, and I had a bridge that was almost similar, and I restored the guitar and made it very playable, and the guy spent quite a fair bit of amount of money, and he said that was one of the best things that ever happened to his life, because that guitar basically reminded him of his father. And there was also another guy that came in and he said, I want to restore this guitar. And I said, why? Because he said it reminded him of his ex-girlfriend. And I said, but this is your ex-girlfriend, right? I mean, he said, yeah, this ex-girlfriend is married right now and I miss her, and this guitar reminds me of her. And even though she's married, she said that she's still thinking about me. And this guy couldn't function anymore. And at that point, I just told the guy, I said, as a friend, there's no, though is this not my business. I think you shouldn't get this guitar done, because, I mean, this girl is remarried, and you should move on with your life, and maybe even give this guitar away, and don't take it back, because you should carry on with your life, and don't let any of these memories with your ex-girlfriend paralyze your life, make you unable to function effectively in your job, and also prepare you for your next partner, your next potential partner. Okay, so these are just stories, right? And it's interesting. If you like this review, give me a thumbs up. I know I've been busy. Next week I'm traveling out, so I thought I just had this guitar for 3 days. Today I reset up again, and it's spectacular. And I thought I just want to do this guitar and really let you listen to how this Epiphone EJ200 sounds. And I do love it. And if you have a chance to buy one of this, buy it and get it set up nicely. If you're in Singapore, just contact me through Facebook or Instagram under the Guitar Spa Singapore. So till my next week, live with passion, play guitar, love, joy, peace, health, and wealth to be multiplied in your life. I'll see you very soon. This is Jarvis signing off. Bye bye.